Less stress, more time, more money. Welcome to the Cash Flow Contractor, short with Martin Holland.
Gangster Loans. Hi, this is Martin, and welcome to this short episode of the Cash Flow Contractor, in which we're going to talk about one of my pet peeves, gangster loans. Gangster loans are those loans you can get from companies online, maybe even from your credit card company, where they're not really interested in your credit score. They don't want to see financials from your company. All they want to see is bank statements from your bank so they can judge the ebb and flow of cash in and out of your bank account. If you're approved, they fund your loan within a few business days, and then they start taking the money back at daily set amounts every day, beginning the day after they fund the loan. So what's wrong with that? Well, let me give you an example. Several years ago, I went to a meeting with one of my clients, a coaching meeting with one of my clients, and he informed me that he had borrowed $200,000 the prior week. Now, that was a little unsettling because I'm usually kept in the loop on transactions like that, but it was his company. He has the right to borrow money if he wants to. So I asked him what terms he got. He told me he got 9%. That was a little unsettling as well because we could borrow money from banks at that time from between 5.5% to 7% annual interest rate. So I asked him about the rest of the terms, and that's when I discovered he had taken out a bank gangster loan. He told me that the company had funded him within a few days and that they had begun to take money out of his bank account every business day, and they were going to continue to do that until it was completely paid back. So they put $200,000 in account. He owed them that money. They added 9% of that, so $18,000 to the amount he owed, and then took out money every day until he had paid back the incomplete $218,000. So what's wrong with that? Well, when somebody tells you or lets you believe that you're getting a 9% interest rate, what they're telling you is that's the amount that you would owe if you had the money for the entire year. In this case, if he had had $200,000 for an entire year at a 9% interest rate, he would have owed $18,000. But he didn't have the money for the entire year. The way it worked out with him and with others that I've seen, the company had taken all of its money back within 6 months. What that does to the interest rate is double it. He paid the full amount, $18,000, but he only had the money for 6 months, so that effectively doubled the effective interest rate from 9 to 18%. But that's not all. For the 6 months that he did have the money, he only averaged having half of it for the entire period. He had more than half for the first 3 months, less than half for the second 3 months, but on average, he only had half of the money. So in effect, he had half of the money for half of the year. What that does to the interest rate is staggering. Half of the money doubles it from 9 to 18%. Half of the year doubles it again from 18 to 36%. This is not at all what my client had in mind when he borrowed money at what he thought was a 9% interest rate. And I do have to say, the company that lent him the money called that 9% a fee. They just allowed my client to assume or presume that they meant interest rate. That's one of the two reasons I really opposed gangster loans. One reason is they're outrageously expensive. What he thought was 9%, which was high, was actually an effective 36% rate. The second reason is it's fundamentally deceptive, if not completely dishonest. And we don't need to be doing business with people like that for either reason. Too expensive, fundamentally deceptive. If you need money, find some other way. Stay away from gangster loans.
Thanks for listening to The Cash Flow Contractor. Check out our website in the show notes or visit thecashflowcontractor.com.